What are you talking about? Keep going. Shall be led away into captive into all nations. Into what? Into all nations. Who was led away captive into all nations? Were black people led away into, you know about the transatlantic slave trade? I do. Okay, were black people led away captive into all nations? Yeah, they were, but so were also all the impoverished. All the impoverished. Who are the impoverished? Everyone that was poor that came here poor from England. Yes, they did. They weren't in slavery. They weren't brought here to be slaves. Yes, they did. They came over. They came over here. They came. No, you had indentured service. Then you had literal chattel slaves. You don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you don't know history. I have taken. White people that worked on plantations and got paid for it. No, those are indentured servants. That's what they did. And black.
Shalom, shalom, Yasharala. Coming with another Meekservants read along, giving all honor and glory to Abba Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, Barakatai, the Hawada for the Rakah, Quadash, the Hawada for our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Yaquab, the Hawada for King David, who will rule well under Yahweh Shah Mashiach, the 12 apostles, the 144,000, the Hawada for the Akim that's out there in the highways and the byways doing this work in sincerity and truth, the Yaquad, the children of Yasharallah, Shalom. So this is a Meekservants read-along, and I was checking this out, Sakari, Atlanta, dealing with this Edomite, and she trying to make a point that it wasn't just so-called African Americans that was in captivity or enslaved, okay, during the time of the Atlantic slave trade, when the slaves, the Israelites, came to the shores of North America, right, and the surrounding islands. But what they fail to realize when they try to come with that argument, whether Edomites were slaves or so-called white people were slaves, it doesn't matter, because that's an in-house problem. You see, when you deal with the Chinese, the Moabites, the Japanese, the Ammonites, the Hamites, the so-called East Africans, North Africans, South Africans, when you deal with Cush, Ham, okay, Tyrese Zidon, when you deal with all these other nations, whether they be sons of Japhet, but if you're not an Israelite, well, these nations, they have a country they can go back to. And if they being slaves, but they being the slaves to their own nation. The Israelites, we were indentured slaves, we were chattel slaves, and not only that, we didn't have a nation on the earth where we could go to. We didn't have a king that we could cry to. We didn't have a president who we could cry to. Okay? So these other nations, if they don't like what's going on in another country they in, well, they can go back to their country. Okay? So the heathens under Esau Edom is in rulership. We don't have a king. Our king is Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Our governor is Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, who's a so-called black man. So we don't have a kingdom established on the earth. Okay? So when they say, well, you had white people that were slaves too, okay, well, they was being enslaved to their own people. The so-called white man is the devil the Bible speak of, Esau Edom. Okay, the earth was given to his hand. Job 9:24. Let's get that right quick. These men ain't nothing but agents anyway. They come in with the name of Christ. But I'm using them as a prop to make for edification and exaltation and pull off some precepts. Okay, I'm using these men as prop because these men are nothing but agents. They come in the name of Most High Blessed, Most High Christ bless, the Sakari, and they wear caps over their head, and they dishonor Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So the lesson is not about Sakari. The lesson is about the argument that other people were slaves too, beside the Israelites. Okay? But when they fail to realize, for argument's sake, well, they got their own country, their own land. What country could Israel, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, West Indies, where Indian Taino niggas say go back to, and where we've been scattered in the four corners of the four winds of the earth amongst every nation? You are who your father is, right? Numbers 1:18. What nation or what country is being governed by Hebrew Israelites on the earth? What country on the earth is governed by the laws of Moses? Okay, now we understand 2/3 of the Israelites, which is 66%, shall be cut off and die. So where at on the earth where 33% of the Israelites are being governed by a monarch, a leader, by the laws of Moses? What country you can go to where the laws of Moses is being implemented at? To the Israelites, to the Hebrew Israelites, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, where we got our own currency, our own flag, our own military. Okay, so we the only nation on earth that don't have that. So we being enslaved by other nations. So if you a slave and you're not an Israelite, well, you being enslaved by your own people. Your people is in rulership on the earth. You have your own currency, you have your own military, you have your own flag. So if you a slave or you doing bad in America, take it up with your own people. Don't cry to us about it. If you doing bad, take it up with your own people. Because the Bible simply say that Israel will go to Esau and the other nations and won't involve them. We're going to bring it out too. I ain't going to be long. Okay, I'm doing a lot of ratting, but I'm making key points, and I hope you get it. So let's go to Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So we know the judge he covered was the face of the great judge, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. He gave us who? Caesar Borgia, and say that was our Messiah. He was the king of the Jews. They gave us a so-called white man, Diablos, covering the judge of who? Yahweh Shai, Mashiach. They covered the faces of Moses. Gave us Charles Heston. You see, all the prophets and the apostles, they gave us what? Edomite faces, red dragons. Okay? So that prophecy was fulfilled. Let's put more meat on the bone. Let's go to First Maccabees, chapter 3 and 48. The Most High say, and laid open the book of the law. So the Bible is the book of the law, right? Baruch 4 and 1. Joshua 1 and 8. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen, you see, Esau Edom is a heathen. He's a non-Israelite. The descendants of Esau, Edom, right? Genesis 36. Had sought to paint the likeness of their images. Of who images? We just read that in Job 9:24. Okay? So they paint their images. Okay, so when you deal with rulership in the earth, is being governed by Esau Edom, the wicked. And let's prove that. Let's go to Malachi. And we brought out these precepts many times. Somebody may be new in the truth, hearing this for the first time. Okay? So sometimes you got to go back to the basics because you never know who the Most High is waking up in these latter times. Okay, because the 144,000 is over seal. Okay, so where I wanted to go, let's see, Malachi, Salakia, Israel. Malachi 1 and 4. The Most High said, whereas Edom, who's the so-called white man, your lover, said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Okay, and they came back during the medieval time, right? They took down the Byzantine Empire. All right, we had reigned for what, 1,000 years, and Satan was let out of hell. You see, out of his condition, hell be condition. Okay, and they took us down, right? Edom. Okay, thus said the High host, they shall build. They came what, back into rulership during the medieval time, but I will throw down, and they shall call them. The them is who? Edom, the border of wickedness. See, so Esau is the border where he's the wicked. And the people, and it's not just Edom is a people. So Edom is a people. So it's not one man singular, it's plural. And guess who the Elohim had indignation forever? So when you're dealing with slavery, because I hear that a lot, they say, well, it just with blacks that were slave, it wasn't just Latinos that were slave, it just with Native Indians that were slave. You had slaves in other nations, in heathen nations as well. Well, it don't matter because your people is in rulership. And then Israel been scattered in the four corners of the four winds of the earth. So you got to understand through the prophecy that Israel would go into captivity as a nation of people. Ain't nobody had chattel slavery like the Israelites. Okay? There's only one nation that endured this on the earth. Ain't no other nation endured. And we still going through it. We still in captivity yet this day. Yet today. Yet this day. The captivity is still there. It ain't never love you. How I never came back yet. So Israel is in captivity yet this day. We still in the hands of our enemy. Esau have not freed us. Okay, so Deuteronomy 28:15, the Most High said, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken it unto the voice of the Elohim thy Yahweh, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And he's talking to Israel, Yasharallah, when you go to Deuteronomy 1 and 1. So the audience is Israel, Yasharallah. Okay? Now when you jump down to 48, the Most High said, therefore shall thou serve thy enemies. So we still serving our enemies. Okay, so Israel, it only happened to the 12 tribes of Israel. Ain't no other nation can come up there and say anything different. Ain't no nation have went through this or still going through this. But even if they want to kind of go with that rhetoric, well, your people is in rulership. So that's an in-house thing. Your nation is ruling the earth. So if you got poor white people or poor Edomites doing bad in the daughter of Babylon, well, you got to take that up with your Edomites, your ruling class, the Bacon family, the Rothschild, the Rockefeller. That's an in-house problem. You shouldn't be doing bad in your own kingdom. This is your kingdom. You should be doing bad in your own kingdom. They cut you out the deal, right? Therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which the Elohim shall send against thee. And hunger and the thirst, talking about the Israelites, will go to the enemy. So we go to y'all because it was prophesied that we would go to y'all in all things. This was prophesied, okay, by Prophet Mashah, who you call Moses. Therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which the Elohim shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst. So when the Israelites would get hunger, they would have to go to their enemies. If we get thirsty, we'd have to go to our enemies. And if they you need clothes, you need garments, raiments. We have to go to our enemies. And it won't, of all things, you need a house, a law, whatever it is, gas, cell phone, whatever you need. we have to go to our enemies. We don't own anything. See, what the difference is, when we want something, we got to go to our enemies. But when the other nations want something, they go to their own people. See, that's the difference. See, that's the difference. We don't have, our people is not ruling on the earth. Okay? And what of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee, and our people are destroyed. Even with the yoke of iron off of us, spiritually our people still destroyed. Okay, when you go to 2 Chronicles 7 and 14, to prove my point, the Most High say, if my people, which are called by my name, talking about Yasharallah, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face, because our governor is Yahweh Shah Mashiach, our heavenly Father, Yahweh the great King. I'm Yahweh the great King. You see? And turn from their wicked ways, stop breaking the transgression of the law. Then will I hear from heaven. So we have a power to go to where all this could come to an end, and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Okay? So the Most High is only dealing with us. Yahweh Shai is only dealing with his children, the Israelites. He ain't dealing with nobody else. He's not dealing with nobody else, Yasharallah. Let's go to Matthew chapter 2, 6. The Most High say, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judea, okay, art not the least among the princes of Judah or Yahweh, for out of thee shall come what a governor that shall rule my people Israel, Yasharallah. So that's our governor, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Okay, and that's what we waiting on. We waiting on the return of our Elohim of Elohim, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, our King of Kings, right? Our Alpha and the Omega, right? Let's go to Joel. Not gonna be much longer. You need to go get it, or you ain't gonna make it. Play the poor table. Let's go to Joel chapter 2 and verse 32. Joel 2:32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Elohim shall be delivered. You see? For in who? For in Mount Zion. See? And in Yasharim shall be deliverance. That's deliverance only for Zion and Yasharim. As the Elohim has said, and in the remnant whom the Elohim shall call, and that remnant it goeth to the elect of the house of David. Okay? So I just wanted to keep this short and sweet. So you got to keep in mind when they come with the argument where you had other people that was in slavery too. Yeah, but they was in slavery under their own nation of people. Under their own nation of people. And their nation is still in rulership. Okay? I'm going to close out. I'm going to go to Jeremiah and I'm going to close out on the precept. I hope this lesson was edification and exaltation. Give it all honor and glory. Abba Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, I said Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. All these nations have devoured the Israelites. Every last one of them. All 17 nations have devoured Yasharallah. All of them, the Most High say. And all thy adversaries, every one, you see, every one of them shall go into captivity. So the Edomite woman, her argument is void and null. She have no legs to stand on. Okay? Because her people is in rulership. And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled. It's called trading places. They go into captivity under a nation of people, which are the Israelites. All these nations are going into captivity under the Israelites. Okay? All right? And all that pray upon thee, the Most High say, well, I give for a prayer. Shalom.